Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. Time. Think about that. Time. We've all got 24 hours in a day. And we're going to spend, depending on how much you like to sleep, 8-10 hours of that asleep. We're going to spend some time with our family, unless you run over the road like I do, and then you don't get to do much of that. But that's different. That's another story. That's another topic. But anyway, time. What do we do with our time through the day? Well, yesterday I tried to post. I got up to post a message, and I wasn't able to because I had no lights inside the truck. Kind of hard to make a video with no lights. And this morning we're going to have entertainment in the background from my little traveling partner. He decides he wants to bark. But anyway, so I put a message up that said something to the fact that I'd post a message today due to situations beyond my control. And I got some calls and messages wanting to know what was wrong, and everything was fine. It's just that technical glitch. So I ended up in a repair shop, and they found the problem, but then they don't have the part till this morning, and it's not going to get it here till 10 this morning, which means I'll be here till probably noon. And so time for me is just slipping away where I can't be productive because the load that I'm going to pick up gets me to Wisconsin, and then I'm going home for a couple weeks for much needed time off and some maintenance on the truck and that. But anyway, what I'm getting at is time. And I talk a lot about it here and there: time spent in study, time spent in our Bibles, time spent listening to gospel music or other forms of maybe not forums, but other preachers on the radio or things like that. But what do we do with all the time in our day? Well, I did finish a post yesterday, a message, and it took over 2 hours for it to post because even though I had 3 bars for signal strength, the internet or whatever we want to call it here was just super slow. It never would post the message on my YouTube account. And it got me to thinking about the difference in the way we see time and the difference in the way God perceives time. Everything is done on His timetable, at his pace, not our pace, His pace. And so that got me thinking yesterday about how long it took for that message to post. And normally with 3 bars, it goes up fairly quick, but not yesterday. And there's some, it just, like I said, it just got me to thinking about time. In Lamentations, that's in the Old Testament, the 3rd chapter, verses 22 says this: "The Lord's loving kindness indeed never cease, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in Him. The Lord is good to those who wait for Him. To the person who seeks Him, it is good that he waits silently for the salvation of the Lord." So, one thing I'm learning quite a bit lately is patience on waiting on the Lord for things to happen at His time that's going to affect my life in a positive sense. There's times I want something to happen yesterday, but in God's timetable, yesterday is too soon. So He's going to do it in His time because He can see the overall picture, when He knows it's best for me for that to happen. And that's the same for you as well as me. So while I was aggravated it took 2 hours for the message to post yesterday, nonetheless, it got posted. It didn't get very many views because I didn't put it up till, I think it was in the afternoon. But nonetheless, I did get one up. And so the same thing's going to happen this morning. I'll be surprised if this goes up fast. It'll probably take some time. But just think about it this way. We want everything just as quick as possible. But we've gotten used to that 24-hour news cycle. We know instantly what's going on in this part of the world or that part of the world. The internet's at our fingertips. We can find out whatever we want. We don't have to go to the library and use them, look through them cards. I think it was called Dewey Decimal System. I could have that wrong, but it's so aggravating to have to go to the library and look through cards to figure out which encyclopedia you need to look at to find out what you were looking for. It was time consuming. But what was good about it was, while you was looking for what you were after, a lot of times you picked up other information, reading and trying to find what you were after. And I think that's a good thing. Whereas now, when you want something, you just Google it and you got it. And we've lost a little bit of that ability to find things on our own and along the way learn a little bit more. And it's that time factor. We're too busy now to spend time to read a book, sit down and enjoy a book. We just want it instantly. But I ask you today, if you have some time, sit down and read through the Bible some. Pick up the Bible and just open it up and just start reading. And take your time. You'll be amazed at what you'll find and what you'll learn. I do that not often as I used to, but I still do that from time to time. A lot of mornings I don't have a message and I'll just start flipping through the Bible and read this page and that page until I come up with an idea for a message. But I put the time in to do that. And we need to do that in our own lives. Put the time in to study His Word and understand everything's going to happen at His time. A lot of times we'll pray for something and it seems to take forever for the prayers to be answered. Well, they're not taking forever. They're all according to His time. So remember that. When you're frustrated and you feel like your prayers aren't being answered, or you're praying about something, a job or whatever, and it's taken forever for an answer, remember, everything is done on His time, not our time, His time. And while we forget that often, we need to try and remember that. Just because it's taking a while doesn't mean He's not answering or He's not listening. It's on His time.